Hello, Internet beings. Today we're continuing our character guides with Albai, the Dual-Wielding Dog of Doom. We're going to cover Albai's strengths and weaknesses, 3 primary builds, and weapon and scroll priority. Let's take a look at Albai as a character first. Albai's primary ability, Dual Wield, is where a lot of his strength comes from. There are a few important notes about Dual Wield to go through. 1. Through your talents, you gain bonus damage and HP regen while dual wielding, and several of his talents and ascensions revolve around this skill. While it does have a longer cooldown, it is important to still use it often. 2. The secondary skills of the weapons cannot be used while dual wielding. There are a few weapons that cannot be used as dual wields: bows, swords, talisman, foundry. 3. The offhand weapon doesn't have any recoil. 4. You do effectively use double the ammo, so ammo scrolls and ascensions are often important. Albai does have a couple of key weaknesses that you have to work a bit to patch through the course of a run. The biggest, he has a very small shield, making health regen extremely important as you go along. The second is that Albai is not particularly fast, only a touch faster than Crown Prince, making positioning extremely important. With those notes in mind, let's take a look at builds. Before we dive into the guide, a couple quick notes. 1. Gunfire Reborn is a roguelite game, meaning this will not be something you can copy and paste and follow in every run. This is intended to be a set of priorities that gives you an idea of what works well and is efficient so that you have some guidance based on what you find in a particular run. 2. Every character is going to have weapon and scroll priorities. We aren't going to rank every single weapon or scroll, and there will be other opportunities and combinations that are viable. This guide simply provides some effective combinations for the hero so you know what to watch for. Spiritual blessings will be covered in their own separate video. Finally, updates to the game will create some changes to the information provided. As those patches come out, I will go over them and adjust the things you need to know so that you can always be up to date. The first build is the most versatile and plays to Albai's strengths, focusing in on dual wield. This build is primarily focused on rapid-fire weapons, but this can be machine guns, rifles, injectors, or shotguns. And often you can mix and match as you find powerful weapons. Battle Tested is an excellent ascension that increases the amount of time in dual wield, increasing overall damage, survivability, and pairing well with other ascensions. Unleashed Potential takes advantage of the rapid-fire nature of our weapons, increasing both damage and lucky shot chance. This is one of the reasons lucky ammo is high on the list, as it is both an additional boost to lucky shot chance and, if you reach the 3rd tier, solves any ammo issues on its own. Twin Gunners is a very potent ascension, but one you have to be very careful with early on, as it can be very easy to run out of ammo if you don't have the scrolls or other ascensions to manage it. The final above-average ascension is Adrenaline Rush, which is an ascension that is good no matter what Albai build you are going for. Remember how I mentioned HP regen being important? This gives you a solid amount while also giving you the damage mitigation. The final tier of this lasts for 20 seconds, making it an extreme jump in survivability. The average talents are always reasonable, if not particularly exciting. With Albai, it's pretty straightforward in what you want to avoid. The ascensions are very polarized between explosion and rapid fire. If you do pick up an explosion talent, the grenade talents give the most value, but overall this is something that you want to avoid if possible. Speaking of explosions, the second build takes full advantage of the explosion talents to blow up your enemies. Naturally, we are going to lean into the explosion talents, and our weapon priority is going to switch exclusively to launchers. The best option for this is the Tiger Cannon, or a launcher with reduced magazine size. If you have a launcher with only 1 for magazine capacity, you could take full advantage of Ember Eruption, increasing your damage significantly. Don't forget to take advantage of dual wielding with this build as well, even though we are not leaning into the dual wielding ascensions. One thing to note, explosion talents do not impact the elemental fusion explosion, only explosions from weapons and your secondary skill. The final build is very similar, but focuses in on your secondary skill, grenades. This is specifically because of Spiritual Blessing, Atomic Bomb, which gives your grenades bonus damage and a 30% chance to toss all remaining grenades without consuming uses. This blessing works extremely well with both double explosions, as you get to toss 2 grenades, and Grenade Master. If the Grenade Master chance of 0 consumption triggers, then you will get additional grenades from Atomic Bomb, meaning you can toss tons of grenades in a single throw. When it comes to scrolls, there are only a few that we really need to highlight. Albai is the best character for Flesh and Bone, because none of his survival ascensions rely on his shields, and several of them scale off of his max health. Because of his low shield and high max health, Resilient Life is a very potent survival tool. Advanced Depot is good for both the explosion and dual-wielding builds, as it removes the biggest drawback of the launchers, the long reload time, and allows you to continuously fire, especially once you have the ammo taken care of. Thorny Carapace is above average on Albai, again because of the large health pool gives you decent damage scaling through to this, though it shouldn't be selected over ammo or survival scrolls. Uh, Energy storage and terminal lucidity are both solid options if you are focused on dual wielding. It is worth noting that while not present on this graphic, all ammo scrolls are very high priorities, though Against the Flow should not be used with launchers. Speaking of, launchers cannot crit except for Shrieker, making Brutal Gloves an excellent damage increase in the rare instance that it is actually useful. Skill damage in general is great if you are going for the grenade build, but does not increase damage during dual wield. When dual wielding, it is very easy to go into a pair of elemental weapons, giving elemental scrolls solid value in that situation. Finally, we want to avoid scrolls that focus on shields or limit our health. A lot of survival options are excellent on Albai, but his limited shield pool and desire to go for flesh and bone make these scrolls very weak compared to their normal excellent performance. Albai is one of the more straightforward characters. That said, it doesn't make him any less enjoyable, and now you're ready to go forth, bark, explode, and riddle your enemies with bullets. Thank you guys for watching. I would really appreciate if you would like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below or to join our Discord. I will leave the link to that and my Twitch down below. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see y'all next time.